everyone, welcome back, and we're giving the kart to Alan for his final stint. He is going to be taking over. We're gonna do the highlights from his stint, and we're gonna look at my stint. Now he's gonna go for a quick fuel stop, and then he's gonna go out. My dad there on the left making pictures. So quick fuel stop, we'll not show that because it's kind of boring. And then I'll come out in a position that is in the low 30s. He's gonna try his best. He's going onto the track now. The first thing we're gonna show is a real interesting overtake. Someone very slow on the apex, a little bump and an apology, and that was okay. He caught by and he was on track. He gets pushed out of the way of this orange guy, and they are kind of aggressive. We're gonna see that in my stint. Again, an overtake now from Alan, doing real well and climbing up and eventually giving the kart, I think, in the low 30s when I take over. As we saw him passing one kart, he's now passing another on the inside, a little bit off track there, but that guy was real slow on the apex. A good overtake. You can see someone stranded to the side of the track there. Real interesting how he got there. Now again an overtake 3 wide, and actually there's someone behind, so there's kind of contact there. Really interesting how that happened. A bit annoying. Two guys that were quicker, but they also made a little bit of contact with Alan. Now again an overtake there, going to the penultimate corner. A real favorite opportunity of mine, and Alan also making it work there. So a good overtake, as we see someone that we're gonna overtake into the technical section. Quite an easy overtake, just more speed on exit, and there we go past. Now going on to the start finish straight after this section, we actually can see Santa there. So real cool that Santa decided to join us as someone overtakes Alan. So he's not the quickest on track, but he's doing real well, and he's gonna fight this, I think, a little bit, trying to do a switchback and doing it real well, actually going side by side. Can't quite make it work, has to sit in the slipstream, but good to see that Alan is trying everything. Guys very slow on the penultimate corner, side by side again. He just has a little bit more speed, and through the final corner he gets ahead of Alan. He can't quite get his bumper in there side by side, so he sticks behind. Now a few corners later, or a little bit later, we see someone with the Santa helmet going wide, so an easy overtake there. And at the end of the same lap, Alan is actually trying to get by someone in a Peugeot Suit. We're gonna see that one in my stint as well, so we're gonna have some more fun with them. But he overtakes both of them through the penultimate corner. A little bit aggressive, a little bit contact there, but a good move from Alan and real well done. Good overtakes onto the straight. He's just ahead, so he can skip ahead, and again through the left-hander he's trying an overtake on the inside. He's on the curb, but he can't quite get on throttle early enough, and the guy just pulls ahead a little bit. But later on in the lap, going through the penultimate corner, that guy goes wide, and there goes Alan through to the next guy. Someone onto the straight here, final corner, and in the slipstream, waiting for the last second to pull out of the slipstream, going right on the inside of turn 1 and then around the outside of turn 2, which is a tricky overtake when you're on the outside of turn 2, but he does it really well. Goes around the outside, and that's well done by Alan. Now going on to the penultimate corner, there's a spin. Someone goes off track. Alan has to go off track and goes in between the guys in front of him. Real good vision there from Alan, and a real quick and well done overtake later on in this race. He's on the inside now on the double left-hander, side by side. The guy just leaves him enough room, and he goes down the inside, but still they're side by side. But the next part of the corner, Alan takes better. He goes in front, and he can take the apex of the next corner. Now we again see the guy in the Peugeot Suit overtaking someone in black. Alan's now on the outside, and he's gonna try to stick it around there. He actually gets a little bit alongside, but not enough. A little bit of contact, and gets off track there, and then two people on the inside get by, so that cost him a little bit of time to the guy in front, and also let two people by. Now I don't know if they're quicker, but the guy in red also smashing into the guy on the right there with the blue on his overalls, but going around the outside now, and Alan actually does make that work. Sticks around the outside, gets just enough room, and has enough speed that through the penultimate corner he can actually go to the apex. Stays ahead there, and going through this section, actually two people spun round, one facing right, one facing left, and a little bit later now a guy with the Santa on his helmet has to take avoiding action. Alan gets through, and then through the hairpin actually goes down the inside of one guy. A lot of people there spun. Alan gets on the apex. There were a lot of people there spun around, and the guy with the Santa helmet gets through again, but again a lot of people there. Santa still in front. You can see Alan really fighting here. A lot of people, and has to do his best just to not get overtaken and to get through this. It's really busy again a little bit later. He tries on the inside there on the right hander, and actually does get past, can squeeze them out, and then go for the next guy in front of him. It's not the guy with the white helmet. He gets away a little bit, but the guy in front spins. Alan can just take avoiding action. Didn't take any time, and again Alan tries to go to the right. Someone on the inside though, 3 wide now, going to the right hander, turn 4. He does make it work, has more speed, and the guy on the inside has to brake earlier, so that is a good move by Alan. But now now this is gonna be the end of his stint. He's coming into the pit and I'm taking over. We're gonna be at the low 30s, I think around 33rd, but we're gonna also do a fuel stop. You can, according to the track, do 45 minutes before you have to do a fuel stop, and it's gonna be tight on fuel at the end. If they flag really quickly at the end at the 3 hours, then we might be able to do it, but we're gonna see. And now we go to my POV, we get in the kart and we get ready to go to that fuel bay. Now the last speed board we already passed going out, so we don't have to worry too much about speed, but we do see a few people in front of us, unfortunately, at that fuel bay. 2 people in front of me, so we're gonna have to wait on them, wait till they get fueled, and then they can start fueling my kart. So we're gonna have to wait a little bit, which is really annoying. It's gonna cost quite a lot of time, and they're gonna actually have a little bit of a, it's not a problem while fueling my kart, but the thing that he is using right now to fuel the kart is gonna be empty about halfway through the fueling, and he doesn't have a new one, so he's gonna use the jerry can, fill it up, and then fill my kart, which is costing quite a bit of time. So we're gonna go there, get out of the kart, and look at what happens. So here we go, we get out, and you can see that the thing he is using to fuel doesn't have a lot of fuel in it, and when he runs out, he's gonna look behind him, and there is no more of that thing, so they're gonna have to use that jerry can, fill the plastic thing back up again, and then fill my kart. And as you can see, it's costing quite a bit of time. I'm looking up because I'm a bit annoyed that it takes that long. I kind of want to get back into the kart, but I'm not allowed to, and it was rolling forward. That's why I put my feet on it, or my foot on it. But there we go, now it's filled up. I can't quite get in yet. They're gonna have to signal me because the cap has to still go on the fuel tank. Now he signals for me to get in, and now we can get back on track. Have to be a little bit careful. Standing still for this long will have cooled down the tires a little bit. They won't be as cold as the last stint with the new kart, but we are, as you can see, warming up the tires a little bit and going through turn 3 there. A lot of oversteer, so the tires definitely a little bit cold, but we're gonna be building that pace back up again. Now getting into the kart, I was already getting a little bit of sore muscles. My muscles were getting a little bit tense because I've been out of the kart for 40 minutes. It is quite cold outside. I've been trying to keep warm as much as I can, but there's definitely some tensing up of the muscles in my arms and in my legs. Now getting warmed up back into the kart will minimize that, but it is going to be tough with a lot of oversteer there through these corners. So again, you can see we still have to warm up those tires, and the track will also have changed a little bit. The sun is going down, it's getting colder, and that doesn't help. I'm also getting a bit tired. I was feeling it because I wasn't planning on being in the kart this long. I've been in the kart 40 minutes already. Of course, it is because my friend Reen the Lab had a crash in the first part of this series, and of course it's real interesting how that happened. Go watch part 1 and then continue watching this part. It also tells you where we are on track right now, and it does mean we have about 30 more minutes on track than planned. Looking down the inside there, but can't quite manage to make it work because of the cold tires. Now there's a lot of people around me, 3 in front of me that are quite close, someone on my right. He just gets alongside. We make sure we brake later than him and go around the outside. He can't quite overtake, and now we're slowly getting back into a rhythm. The guy in the white helmet in front is also someone we've encountered in our first stint, so we know we should be quicker, but the guy right behind him also seems to be quicker. Going through the second part of this left hand, he makes a big mistake, a lot of oversteer, and he gets by, and now we're trying to overtake there. We're gonna try a slingshot through the penultimate corner again. We've done this a lot through the first half of the race, and now we're right behind going onto the straight. We're not quite close enough to give him a push, and he's looking behind. He's probably going to defend because this is the final less than an hour, and he's actually trying to overtake the guy in front. There was a big gap going through the final corner, but he has closed it up, goes down the inside of turn 1 and goes around the outside. Now we're trying to follow him and actually can just make it work. We just stay on track, and now he is trying to attack the next guy already through the hairpin. We make sure we have a good exit there, and now we both have a slipstream. He actually goes for a little bit of human DRS, sits down in the kart, and we're just gonna wait for a good moment to overtake. We actually tried diving down the inside here, but there's not enough room. He has a lot of oversteer though. He has a half spin. I can't quite manage to avoid him and push him, give him the final push, but he was already spinning out there, so I put my hand up to apologize, but we're still gonna be pushing and trying to catch the guy in the white helmet, but he has gained a lot of ground there through that spinner, so that means we have to wait a little bit. But he's getting held up by kart number 40, tries to go around the outside, but 40 doesn't have a clue that he is there, pushing him off track, and they're both slow, especially kart 40. And through the penultimate corner, we already passed fast. So that was a good way to use kind of that mistake from the guy in the white helmet and kart 40 and just get by without losing any time. And we are still in the 104, trying to push the time quicker, but we have someone on the inside there, but on the left-hander there we can just take it normally, take more speed, and we're already looking ahead. Now looking behind, there's a lot of cars and a little bit of oversteer to turn 3, but we do have someone that we can quite easily overtake there. He doesn't have a lot of speed onto the straight, and even before the corner we're almost ahead. But going into the next right-hander, we do have a lot of oversteer. The guy behind can't overtake me, but there's a lot of people right behind him, so there's gonna be some overtaking there. They probably are quicker than me, while I'm still trying to get quicker and quicker lap times this stint. So if they are trying to overtake me, we're gonna just stick behind, not lose too much time, and we're trying to set some real quick lap times here and trying to push as much as we can. Now through the last corner we look behind again, and we do see they are still there. There's quite a big train looking behind me. It will take a little bit for them to catch up probably, and as you can see the sun is now slowly setting. It's gonna be dark at the end of this race because it's gonna end at 5 p.m. in this December month, and that means it's gonna be dark already. So we're gonna be transitioning to dark and the lights will come on at some point, which will be really cool. But for now, just still trying to push, looking behind me and trying to identify when I will be caught by the guys behind me. Now my last lap, a 1:03.8, so quite a good lap. Still not the same as the last stint, but we are getting there slowly. Now let's see how long it takes to get either caught by the guys behind or that we take on someone that is right in front of me. Now approaching the penultimate corner, which was a great overtaking place last stint. We're actually overtaking someone through that corner. They weren't that quick and we are just straight past. Now the last lap, a 1:02.7, a really quick time. We didn't lose any time overtaking that guy through the penultimate corner. So we're gonna be improving to a 1:02.7, doing really well there. And now going through turn 2, we're taking a lot of speed there. And we do see someone coming out of the pit quite close in front. So we're gonna try to overtake as quickly as possible before the guys behind me catch me. Looking behind, there are quite a bit of ways though, so it's gonna take a little bit more for them to even catch me, but there are gonna be some people that are catching me. Going very wide now through the right hander, big mistake. That is gonna cost us a couple of tenths, and that means a shallow line into the left hander, but we've done that decently, even though that line wasn't that great. But it does mean that we're probably not gonna be improving on our best lap this session, which is okay. And we do see someone in front of us, a few seconds in front of me, and that means a lot of pushing because I want to catch someone if they're in front of me. I do think they didn't come out of the pit, which is kind of a weird sentence, but they are still on track and they've been on track for a little bit, so we're probably just a little bit quicker and it's gonna take a little bit for us to catch up. Now going on to the straight and a little bit slower lap time there, but going through turn 1 and turn 2, we've been taking it a lot better, a lot more curb and a lot more speed through it, so we're we're trying to keep that up, and this corner, the hairpin at turn 3 also been quite good for me, so just still pushing, see a lot of guys in front of me. And as we're approaching the right-hander there, we actually do see the yellow flag on the right coming on. Someone is very wide, probably spun around. I thought they were gonna be in the way, but we can just overtake now into the left-hander, but they are gonna fight it. Card number 33 is gonna pull alongside, and we're gonna have to fight to stay in front, or maybe he is quick and it's gonna pull away through the left-hander. He does seem quite a bit quicker. I don't know where he got that speed from, but we're now right behind. We're gonna stick behind him through this right-hander and the penultimate corner, trying to get a better exit, maybe make a move on the straight through this corner to the right. The penultimate corner, he does seem a little bit slower, but we're gonna give him a little bit of a push through the straight. He wants to work together, so he's definitely an experienced karter, but he is a little bit quicker, maybe a little bit lighter, and we go through the right. We overtake someone together, and now through the left-hander turn 2, a lot of traffic right in front of me. I'm just trying to follow him through. I have to cut the course there a little bit to get past, but it's okay. And then through the right-hander there, we overtake someone on the inside. As you can see, he's pulling away, looking behind him. Maybe I can give him a little bit of push, but I can't because I'm too far away. Now the guy in front is actually going to the inside, a little bit of a defensive move. We try to steam in there, follow the white helmet, but make a big mistake, go wide there again, although it's a little bit less problematic than the last time we did that. And now we're just kind of on our own, gonna try to overtake the guy in blue, who does seem to be fighting the guy that just overtook him, although he is very quick. And someone else now in the mix, so 2 people in front of me, one very slow. We get right by. Now we're gonna get a tow onto straight from the blue guy, and we're gonna see if we can overtake him. But going through the penultimate corner, we are closing up quite rapidly, but we do actually see a hand going up there. He's going into the pit, so we're going onto the straight and do not have a tow from him anymore. But the guy in white, of course, still in front, so we're gonna try to follow him, although we're a little bit away. And he is catching up to some more traffic, and he is catching up rapidly. Can't quite make it work into the turn 3 hairpin, but on the exit there he gets alongside, and he's already past there. Real quick overtake from him, but we do not have the same exit speed, so that means we're gonna have to make a move in the technical middle section. Going through the right hand, a lot of oversteer for the both of us. We are catching up. He goes shallow into the left hand, and we're trying around the outside. He does make a little bit of contact, washing wide through the apex. We go wide just to make sure there's no crash there, and that is us through on that card. Now let's see how long it takes for us to catch up to the next person, or maybe get into a battle or have someone overtake us. Going through the right-hander, taking it not that well, and then suddenly on the right we see someone overtaking us. Definitely someone that is quicker than us in cart number 3 there. Going through the right-hander, he does have a lot of oversteer because he does have some overspeed. We have to slow down a bit more than I would like just to avoid him, and we do see we're catching up with a train in front, so we're gonna probably be catching them at the end of the lap. Now if the guys in front of me, so the white helmet and the cart number 3, will be fighting them and overtaking them, they might be slowing them down, which means that I will have an opportunity to get by quicker. So let's see if we can make use of that opportunity in one of the next couple of laps. Now going through the penultimate corner and actually checking if we see someone behind us. We don't really see anyone, although we didn't really look that well, so there might actually be someone behind me. I don't quite know, but we do set a best lap of this session at 1:02.6, so still improving, and it gets darker and darker here. Not that quick yet. Now 2 cars there on the left, they probably had a tangle because that's not a place where you normally end up, but that does mean we don't have to fight them to overtake, so that is a good thing for us. Now going into the middle section, we do see a big train in front of us. A lot of people are fighting. We take the right-hander quite well, and we are closing up to the car in front, so we're probably gonna be overtaking them quite soon. So we're looking at any opportunity to get by quickly, but we do see we both are catching a big train that is fighting in front. Going through the left, we are quite close. Actually gonna try a switch back here onto the straight. Can't quite make it work, and we're gonna push him a little bit through the penultimate corner. corner, because I don't think it's a good choice to already make a move before even going onto this little short straight and then the final main straight. He goes by on the inside of someone. We didn't quite make that work, so we're sticking behind for now, trying to follow them through, maybe give them a little more bump so we can get through together. But we are now through turn 2 and there's a yellow flag there in turn 3. Some people out their cart, one guy out of his cart in the Santa, so Santa has gotten stuck on turn 3. That's a real weird place to get stuck. Maybe his engine cut out because he was fiddling at the back. Hopefully a marshal comes and helps him soon. But looking forward, we do have a big train there in front of us. We make a mistake though. We still haven't overtaken the cart in front of us, which is very disappointing because we gave him a push going into the penultimate corner and it cost about a lap to catch a back up there, and in front of him there is quite a lot more cars. So I'm gonna try to overtake this guy and then deal with the traffic. I don't want to have to overtake a lot of cars at the same time. That could slow us down massively or make it very difficult to gain positions. But through the penultimate corner, again catching up a lot, almost give him a push, but on the exit we actually do give him a push. He's looking behind, he's probably gonna try to defend, but onto the straight we have a slipstream. He doesn't. We wait for the last moment, then we pull out on the right and through turn 1 side by side. We can go around the outside of turn 2, but he goes a little bit wide and doesn't leave us enough room, so we're going off track there, because I do think I was owed that room because I was alongside. And we go there, and now on the left we go around the outside from slower traffic, again off track there, but the marshals don't seem to care, so I'm just gonna use that space if I can, especially overtaking some slower drivers. Now there's 3 people up ahead. Let's see if we can catch them quickly. So we've slowly been catching these 3 drivers, but someone with a Santa helmet has just come out the pits and he's trying to overtake the last one of them. They're fighting, and as we go into the short straight he actually does the human DRS. He does seem quite quick, and we're gonna try to kind of work together to overtake these 3 drivers. He goes alongside through the left hander and we're now almost side by side. Go very wide and do a great switchback there through the right hander alongside, and the penultimate corner we're already ahead. Make sure we just take more speed, and now in the slipstream of that Santa guy, he goes down a little bit in the cart. I also go on use some human DRS to make sure we get a little bit more speed on the straight, and at the end of the straight we sit back up straight because I do need my legs in a good position to use the brakes, and we catch up through turn 1 and 2, and we are probably just in his slipstream now, approaching turn 3. Now looking ahead again, 3 cars there, and we can actually see the guy with the Peugeot suit that I was talking about the first stint. If you haven't seen that stint, go watch it because it's important that we overtook that guy in the last stint, and we're now gonna be battling for a little bit longer because the fatigue is setting in. I'm getting a little bit tired. Through the right hander we do well, catching up even more. Now through the left we are catching up even more, and now we're on the short straight making sure we use the slipstream, and we're side by side through the left hander, but there's someone in front of us so we don't have that much room, but we go a little bit off track there, still side by side. And through the right hander we're past the Peugeot guy, someone else slow in front, and get a bump from behind. Now there's someone in front, someone very aggressively weaving there, and now on to the final straight, and then we kind of use the guy in front to overtake. We give him a bit of a bump to make sure we have good speed and looking to overtake maybe into turn 1, but we kind of keep pushing him, making sure that no one from behind can attack us. And then through turn 3 we're gonna try to attack. He has some oversteer, so we have more speed going towards turn 3. We give him a bump and send it down the inside there, but he sticks it around the outside beautifully, can go on throttle earlier, and that means he kind of just drives away from us. So we're in his slipstream and we can't afford to make any big mistakes because the guys behind me are still there. They are keeping up with us, and if I make a mistake, they're probably gonna try for a move, but we've lost some ground to that kart in front of us. So we're gonna have to be good through this couple of corners coming up to make sure we can make a move or be even in his slipstream, because he's driving away. But now through this technical session and especially the final few corners, we're very good and we're right behind him now, going to the penultimate corner, but further away than I would like. Still, that penultimate corner has been good for me, and again it's gonna be a good corner. So we close up again and we're just a few meters behind him. He doesn't have a slipstream, so we close up massively and go look for the inside here, but it doesn't quite work out. I tried to duck back in, but that makes a little bit of contact. We lose speed. We're still behind him, but going through turn 2 we have a massive snap of oversteer, so we have to catch the kart, and that means we can't make a move into turn 3. So we're gonna have to wait on the straight. We actually gonna duck down there, human DRS, and we have some slipstream, so we're looking into the right-hander to make a move on the inside. We pull out and we almost get alongside, brake late, but have oversteer. We touch the kart, lose a bit of speed. We're still side by side, and that is us through on the left-hander. So a little bit of a mistake. That's the tiredness that's setting in, just making tiny mistakes that might cost a lot of time. So we're gonna have to be careful not to make any more of those mistakes, because they could cost us a lot of time. But we are now entering the right-hander again. Santa in front of us. Let's see, we need to overtake quickly because the guys that I overtook are still right behind me. So we're now entering the penultimate corner. We actually hit him quite hard. He looks behind, and that loses a lot of speed going onto the straight. Santa is pulling away, and that means the guy that is behind me now has a look, and he's gonna pull alongside and into turn 1. He's actually gonna be slightly ahead. We tried to stick it around the inside, but have a massive amount of oversteer through turn 2, and now we've lost a lot of time to those guys in front, the both of them, and that means we're gonna have some work to do. But Santa makes a mistake, and we go and stick in his slipstream for now, and going into turn 4 there, we're gonna look to the inside. He brakes earlier. We have some slipstream, and that has us past one of those guys, but we definitely also need to overtake the other one. He's right in front of us through the left-hander, but we both overtake kart 55 there, using a little bit of overspeed from the slipstream of the kart in front. And now we're gonna be looking if we can make a move maybe in towards the final corner, because we do have a better run through this right-hander, and now we're trying to close up. He does seem to have more entry speed with a little bit less exit speed, but through this penultimate corner, I don't know how he does that lunge, but he does seem to gain a lot of time. We do overtake 2 people there real quick, and now we're trying to again stick in that slipstream onto the straight. There's a lot of leaves there, someone probably gone off track, and now we're right behind him and entering turn 1 and 2. We can't quite make a move, so we have to stick behind. Maybe into turn 3 we can make a move, but someone coming out of the pit there, so we don't send it to the inside. We're gonna stick behind on the next straight and see if an opportunity presents itself. He does seem to be on my pace. We're quite close, Mac. I might be a little bit faster, and on this straight we're in the slipstream looking on the inside, but we don't have enough speed, and a massive amount of oversteer going for the inside again, and again a lot of time lost. So that is another mistake from me, and again something we're gonna have to work on, not trying an overtake and not making it work, because look at how much time we just lost there. We have massive amounts of ground to catch up, but it does seem to be he's a little bit stuck there. The guy in orange holding him up to the right-hander a lot and going onto the straight. He has a compromised line going into that penultimate corner, but now we are going to first have to overtake the guy in orange before we can make a move on the person we were just trying to make a move on. The guy in orange steers in early. We're on the inside, but we have to tuck back into the slipstream, and because of the guys in front, he also has a slipstream, so we go to the inside and we lunge it there. 2 people overtaken, almost just side by side still with kart 53, and then into turn 3 we go around the outside. We made that work, and that is us through another 2 people, so quickly overtaken, but again lost a little bit time to that guy in front of me, so we're gonna have to catch up again. But he does make a mistake going through that right-hander there, goes very wide, and that gives us a lot of speed, and he has compromised his line into the left-hander. So now just alongside him we are trying to make a move into that left-hander, and we just get alongside enough to go to the inside, overtake him, but we still have to look behind if he doesn't try to make a move onto the straight. We are far enough ahead, so now it's up to us to catch the next people without making a mistake, because if you make a mistake then he'll definitely be back through. Coming up to turn 3, we are catching up massively with this guy, I believe in kart 13. We tried to go to the inside, but he's just there, so we can't overtake him. We look behind to make sure that there's no one behind us, but again someone on our inside now, the guy we've just overtaken, so that is a real quick work. He goes through and he goes on the inside. We make a mistake, hit the guy in kart 13, and now kart 34, the guy with the Peugeot Suit is there, and kart 13 is now on the apex, kind of blocking me. I push him, but kart 34 gets past, and we still stuck behind kart 13, trying to go around the outside there. He breaks early, a little bit of contact, we get through, but now again 2 cars that we should be quicker than are in front of us, including the guy with the Peugeot Suit. But going through the penultimate corner, we are catching up. We know we are quicker, it's just the mistakes that are setting in because of the tiredness and soreness in the arms and legs that are costing us massive amounts of time. Going onto the straight, we are in the slipstream, and there's a gap in front of kart 34, so into turn 1 we're just sticking behind through turn 2, trying to get a better exit, but we fail that. So now into turn 3 we are not able to make a move. We brake late enough to get a slingshot through turn 3, and now probably the next sector we're gonna try to make a move. I'm getting a little bit frustrated by my own driving, so I'm a little bit too aggressive in this next move, looking at the inside, showing my intention, lunging there. A little bit of contact though through oversteer. We put up the hand for sorry, but we do still keep that position, and now we're looking at the guy in front. We've overtaken him twice, he's overtaken us twice as well though, so we're gonna have to make a decisive move here. One last overtake for position, catch him, go past, and then make sure we don't make a mistake so we don't get past again. Let's see how long that takes. So we are right back at his tail again. It does seem a bit far, but going through the penultimate corner, we do actually close up massively as oversteer. So now we're in his slipstream. We did have an overtake on some traffic, luckily both on the straight. So now we're closing up through that slipstream. You can see how much work it's doing. And going through turn 1, we're closing up massively, but I don't quite dare sending it down the inside of turn 2. And even though we have a better exit through turn 3, because there's some traffic we can't overtake, he does look behind. He is in a fighting mood. I do have a feeling this is also for position, because he keeps looking behind, and I do believe this fight is going to go on for a very long time. We do try around the inside, can't quite make it work. He does seem to take a wider entry though into this left-hander and then have a better exit, but there's some traffic in front of him, so we can't do that, and he's losing a bit of time looking down the inside. He does make that work, and we're trying to follow him through, and through the right-hander here we're actually already ahead, and again trying to get a slingshot for a better exit, but there's again that gap that we had last lap. But this penultimate corner really good, and again we can just make sure that slipstream that we're just close enough, and that slipstream is gonna pull us massively towards him. Now looking back at the commentary, it's actually a lot of fun, but at this time I'm getting frustrated. I can't pass this guy, and through turn 1 and 2 we still have to stick behind. Now I have looked at the final results, and they're 2 laps behind me, and there's only 1 position between us. They finished 31st, so maybe they have to make 1 more pit stop, or they fell off a little bit at the end, but this is definitely for position, so we need to get past, and we need to make a move quite soon. But through the right hander we make a massive mistake again, a lot of oversteer, and that cost us again a lot of time. Now we need to get back to that guy in kart 27 again for the 3rd time. Now let's make sure that is the last time we encounter him, because I'm really getting annoyed. Not in the kart, I'm just doing my best. I feel a bit tired, but looking at this footage I'm a bit annoyed that I couldn't get past and make it stick, which is something that is very important because it's just losing us time battling him each time and then falling behind because of a mistake. So we're gonna have to work on that for later races as well. But for now, just looking at how he's side by side, can't quite make an overtake on the straight, so we're sticking behind. And let's see if we can try to make a move maybe into turn 3. There's actually 3 guys now, so it's quite busy. And looking at how we're gonna get past, one of them goes to the left, the other one goes the inside. We also choose the inside, and there we go. The guy with the orange helmet is actually side by side but gets into the slipstream. We don't have a slipstream, quickly tuck back in and now make sure that we don't get overtaken from behind. We're trying to follow the orange helmet, but at the last second we actually decide to go around the outside. Doesn't quite work out, and now we're looking on the inside there of the orange helmet. We do make that one work and we are through on him, but then on our inside there's the guy with the Peugeot Suit. He hits us a little bit and that means we lose speed to the orange guy, and now we've lost out to the both of them. So even more frustration as we're losing a lot of places and places to people that we should be quicker than. My hands there go up because I'm annoyed that I kind of lost a lot of pace there, and now we're onto the penultimate corner trying to stay in the slipstream. The guys in front go wide, so lose a little bit of time, but they have slipstream on each other, where the Peugeot Suit has slipstream and they have also slipstream from in front, so I can't really close up. Peugeot Suit looking on the inside of turn 1 but goes for the inside of turn 2. We close up massively, have a lot of oversteer because there was a difference in speed. The Peugeot Suit has a crash with someone in front and spins him out, so we do gain a position there. I don't know who that was, but now the Peugeot Suit has a loss of speed, so we're gonna look if we can stay in his slipstream. He's looking behind, he's a little bit annoyed, don't know what happened there, but they did have a crash there. So now looking to the next right and then the left, looking if there's any more speed that we can gain. We do seem a little bit quicker, even though he overtook us from, I don't know if he came out of the pit, but he came out of nowhere. So we're gonna look to get back past and then try to overtake these guys in front again. The last lap of 104, not that good, so we're definitely losing a little bit of pace. This is the part of the race where I was feeling the most tired. It's getting real difficult to keep the pace high, keep up with the guys in front, but we seem to be doing okay with the guy in the Peugeot Suit going through the penultimate corner, closing up, and we're right in his slipstream. Now we might be able to make a move at the end of the straight. We can see the people in front also fighting, so we will be doing our best. Now here we go through turn 1, we just stick behind. Turn 2, not making a move, make sure we get a better exit, but a little bit of oversteer gives him a few meters there, and we're not gonna be able to make a move into turn 3, so we're gonna have to wait. He goes around the inside there, tries to stick around the inside, but the guy has a slipstream, so they're kind of side by side. We're gonna give him a push because I want to overtake together. He gives us a thumbs up there, and that means we're gonna go down the inside together, but we're gonna try to also make a move on the guy in the Peugeot Suit, go down his inside there. A little bit of compromise line, a little bit of contact, and we have a lot of speed that we lose on the exit, so that's unfortunate. And again, someone on our outside now. We're gonna stick on the inside, but someone surprises me on the inside there, and we get overtaken by 2 people, so that is annoying. But through the right hander they are overtaking some other people, and because we stick behind we can actually overtake 2 people even going through the penultimate corner. And now we'll stick behind a train in front of me, 2 of the guys sitting down and following that guy in the Peugeot Suit, and maybe if they slow him down we can use that opportunity. Looking behind there, no one there, and going through turn 1 they're actually fighting him already, and we have a big snap of oversteer there through turn 2, so that is costing us a little bit of time there. And you can see that I'm not that great when I'm following people. Now going through turn 3 there was a little bit of contact between the Peugeot Suit and the guy in the white helmet with orange, but the Peugeot Suit seems to be focused on me, looking behind if I'm catching up, and then he'll probably go defensive. We just try to stick behind and not making the same mistake through the left, and then we're gonna stick behind, make sure we make a move when there's a better opportunity, because right now we know he can stick it around the outside there. Maybe we use the slipstream, but he also has slipstream, so we're gonna have to be smart about it. We do have a bit of oversteer there. The track is cooling down, as you can see it's getting quite dark, sun is going down, and that means the same lines and the same speed might not be able to work. But through the penultimate corner here, again having a little bit of a better exit, but we do have a massive gap that is still in front of us to that Peugeot Suit. Now they are encountering some traffic, someone in a red suit there, so he has to go around the outside. We have someone on our inside though. Kart 30 just appears out of nowhere trying to overtake that guy in red, but he comes to the inside. We go off track overtake there, a bit annoyed, and then the guy in the Peugeot Suit turns in, gets spun around there by the car that we are now overtaking on the right, real slow because he made contact there with the guy in the Peugeot Suit, and now we have a yellow flag. Someone on our inside, doesn't mind those yellow flags though. He just goes down the inside and someone else follow him. They go around the outside, and that is us losing 2 positions there, even though there was a yellow flag. So that has me a bit annoyed, but now we have some clear track in front of us. Let's see how long it to either catch up or be caught by someone. Well, that's barely taken any time, because through turn 1 someone in front has a lot of oversteer, and that means I have a lot of oversteer, go wide, but we go down the inside of turn 3. A quick move, even though we made a little bit of a mistake looking behind, making sure they can't make a move, but looking in front it does seem there's quite a big train coming up, so we might catch them at the end of the lap, and through the middle section we are gonna be a little bit quicker than some of these guys, and there are gonna be a lot of overtakes that might also slow them down even more. But for now we're just catching up and then making the overtakes. Now looking at the time remaining, there's only less than 10 minutes remaining. I've just seen that on the screen going past the straight a few laps ago, and I didn't realize that in commentary until now, but that has given me a lot of motivation, a lot of energy to push for this final 10 minutes. So we're gonna be doing better these final laps, and going onto the straight we are actually gonna be catching someone real quick, and then we're gonna pull out on the right, go down the inside of turn 1, and there we go, and we just make that move in time for the yellow flag there. 2 people spun around, so we just overtake them there, go past, and now we're looking ahead at the next guy. We're probably gonna be catching them after this lap. They do seem a little bit quicker than the guys I just overtaken, but they are also fighting side by side on the straight, so they will be slowing each other down a little bit, which is good for us still having that 30th place. We tried to catch up to the guy in front. I don't know what the gap is, but it might still be possible, and I have a feeling that it might still be possible. I'm looking at the screen at the end of the main straight. There's my position. Can't quite see it in this light on my GoPro, so it's a bit unfortunate that I can't really update you with the precise position that we are in. So we're just gonna do it on the feeling, and we're just gonna push flat out now. Have a lot of energy suddenly, because I know it's not gonna be that long before the race ends. Going through the penultimate corner now, we are catching up again in the slipstream of someone, and on the main straight we're gonna look to the right, see the time remaining, and in front you can see the screen with the position, just not readable through the GoPro. Through turn 2 a massive amount of oversteer from the guy in front of us. He loses a lot of time. We catch up massively, and he waves us through on the inside, so that's a good move, a quick move. We do a thumbs up to thank him for that, and now we're gonna see how long it takes to catch up to the next guy. So just at the end of the lap, we've caught up with someone. White helmet, orange dots on the race suit. Now we've been quicker than him through stint 1 and through stint 2. He was quicker than us, but now reaching the penultimate corner, we're right behind him in the slipstream. He's looking behind, looking to defend because he thought he was quicker, but now we're gonna attack and try to get past as quickly as we can. Now through turn 1, we're right behind him. He does something unexpected through turn 3 and we have to avoid him. We lose a lot of time again, so that is something we've done a lot of times in this second stint, just getting caught out by someone who does something that we don't quite expect. And now we have quite a big gap again, but there is some traffic in front of him, and if he catches that, they might hold him up. So we are trying to catch up as quickly as we can. If my memory serves me correctly, it will only take about a lap to catch back up, but that is quite a lot when there's only a few more minutes remaining in this race. 4 more laps after this one, so 4.5 kind of laps remaining. So we're gonna have to try to overtake, and that's gonna be the goal before the end of the race. Overtake that guy with the white helmet. Now we've also set our best lap of this stint, a 1:02.021, a real good lap last lap, so you can definitely see that second wind has come in. The track has cooled down. I'm really feeling good, and I'm trying to get by this guy that is in front very quickly. We're now on the straight, and the guy that we want to overtake has overtaken Santa through turn 2, so we can't get held up too long or we're gonna have a problem catching the guy with the orange on his suit. But through turn 3 we're a little bit too far behind, but we're in the slipstream and have a good exit, so we're behind him and we're gonna try and move at the end of the straight, but there's someone slow and the guy in orange is overtaking him. We're looking down the inside, we're side by side, not quite enough. We get on the curb and get slowed down a lot, and that means we lose contact again with the guys in front. It's not as much time that I thought I'd lost, but that is gonna take a little bit of time to catch back up again. So let's see how long that takes. So on the straight it does look like we're quite far away. Through turn 1 and 2 we're catching up massively though. We have a lot better of an exit off turn 2 and we go down the inside there of turn 3. A good move there and a real decisive. So that's how you do that. That was way better than I've been doing before. But that guy with the white helmet, orange on the suit, still quite far away, and we only have like 2 more laps to catch up. I really want to catch and overtake him, but I don't know if it's still possible. We're gonna try, but we are trying too hard there, and through the left-hander we go wide onto the grass there, onto the dirt, and now we get overtaken by Santa again. So our battle in the final laps is probably gonna be with Santa and not the guy in orange, which is a bit of a shame, but that's how it's going to be. Made too many mistakes throughout this race to have any chance of battling the quicker guy, so we're just gonna focus on Santa. Going through the penultimate corner, we're right behind him. He sits down for human DRS, but we do actually have a massive slipstream. Give him a little bit of a push through the final corner, because it wouldn't work making a move there, but now we pull out on the straight. We don't have enough speed. We pull back in there, but we don't have enough speed, and try to make up through turn 2, but that means a lot of oversteer there, and he pulls away a little bit, and we're further away, so we can't make a move into turn 3. So we're trying to get a better exit and onto the straight now. He doesn't have someone in front, so we're trying to get alongside, and we just managed to do that. And the next corner, of course, a right-hander, so we're side by side. He doesn't have any chance there, but he goes around, tries to switch back, and then again tries to switch back through the left-hander there, but he doesn't have enough speed. Now he's pushing me, so that is good for my speed, and now we're trying to pull away before he gets the slipstream on the straight there, so we make sure the left-hander is good and the long right-hander is also very, very good. But we do have someone very slow in front of us, so we're trying to not get held up, and we are catching up massively here through the right-hander. But onto the final corner now, we do actually pull alongside, and even before we reach that corner we are ahead, so that's a very, very good. Now looking on the gantry with the starting lights, it says final lap, so we are busy on our final lap, and then we're gonna be coming in now through the second turn, the left-hander. We actually have 3 people spun around, and we overtake someone in orange very quickly. So even though it's the final lap, people are fighting very, very hard. Lots of crashes, and we do also have someone in front of us through the middle sector. Now my friends are very concerned about fuel, but looking at the footage, it's only been about 45 minutes, so recommended stint length, because I of course stood still at the refueling station for a little bit. Now we are through and almost at the final corner, just 4 more corners remaining before the end of the race, but it doesn't mean we don't make any more overtakes. Through the long right-hander, someone makes a lot of mistakes and we try to go around the outside of car number 6. He pushes us off track, then gives us enough room, so we're through, and that's one overtake on the final lap. But we are also overtaking the person in blue. Looks behind, we go on the final corner, we go past, and we even see Santa in front of us. So brilliant to finish with Santa there. Really happy to have finished. And looking at the scoreboard, we finished in 29th place, so eventually we made the top 30, and it was a very difficult, hard fought race. Real happy with my team, real happy at how we did, and we are definitely looking at coming back here next year. Brilliant track, brilliant venue, brilliant race. So if you have enjoyed this video, guys, then leave a like on the video, comment about what you thought of the 2 stints, how I did, what I could improve, and how I can learn to overtake better without getting spooked by weird things. Now also subscribe to the channel for even more of these races, and also ice karting coming up shortly on the channel. But for now, have a great day and enjoy. Bye bye.